That was the call of the Steller's jay. Steller's jay was discovered on July 31st, 1741, on Kayak Island near present-day Cordova, Alaska, by German naturalist Georg Wilhelm Steller, but we can call him Steller. Steller was part of the ill-fated Second Kamchatka expedition, a Russian voyage by sea to map the eastern edges of the Russian Empire, find and map America from Siberia, and scientifically catalog everything they found. Steller was a member of a scientific team aboard the ship St. Peter and had only a single day to collect and observe as many species on Kayak Island as possible before the ship set sail back to Siberia, and the Steller's jay was one of those species found. The explorers knew they had reached America through the navigator's meticulous logs and calculations, and by Steller's discovery of the Steller's jay, which bore a striking resemblance to a painting of an American blue jay that Steller had seen years before. The blue jay and Steller's jay are the only two New World jays with head crests, and Steller's jay is the only crested jay west of the Rockies. There is a lot of variation in the way Steller's jays look when it comes to coloration. Black-crested, blue-crested, black-backed, gray-backed, blue-backed. All of these variations exist across Canada, the US, and Mexico. But today we're talking about the population west of the Rockies, in the same temperate coniferous rainforests of the last two videos. These Steller's jays have black crests with streaks of blue on their foreheads and black backs. If you'd like to spot these beautiful bright blue birds in the wild, you will not find them in wide open lowlands. Instead, they can be found in dense coniferous forests from southern coastal Alaska to southern coastal California. They favor forests thick with pine, spruce, Douglas fir, and hemlock, and especially in mountainous areas and foothills. They are very opportunistic birds and will visit backyard bird feeders if you leave out large nuts and seeds or suet. They can also be found frequenting parks and campgrounds to beg for food. They are food cachers and will hide food items under leaves or other markers to come back for them later. Unfortunately for these jays, they will forget 30 to 40% of these caches, and many of the seeds they stash will grow into plants instead. Steller's jays are nest robbers as well. They eat bird eggs, baby birds, and occasionally small adult birds. These omnivorous birds will eat anything small enough. In addition to the nuts, seeds, and small birds I've mentioned, they will also eat berries and other fruits, insects, and human food waste. To scare other birds away from the food they're after, Steller's jays will skillfully imitate other animals' calls, including cats, dogs, chickens, squirrels, and sometimes even mimic non-animal sounds. Birds of prey like red-tailed hawks and red-shouldered hawks seem to be some of this jay's favorite calls to imitate. And these birds are highly vocal. If you are nearby them, you will most definitely hear them. Unless they're nesting, they stay very quiet during this time to not alert predators to the nest's location. These are very social birds. They live in flocks of Steller's jays when it's not nesting season, clearing territory, mobbing predators, feeding, and playing together. They are known for flying with other Steller's jays in single file with a lazy and graceful style, hardly flapping their wings. They will sometimes join mixed species flocks as well. Steller's jays form lifelong monogamous relationships, staying together with their mate year-round. Both males and females build the nests 10 to 30 feet high in a tree, most commonly in deep, undisturbed evergreen forest. The nests are built with sticks, leaves, and moss, held together with mud on the top sides of branches close to the trunk of a tree. The female will lay 2 to 6 pale blue-green eggs with small olive or brown spots in the nest, and aggressively protect them along with the male when threatened. Steller's jays occasionally mate with other jay species at the farthest reaches of their ranges, having few other options there. These courtships are awkward but can produce offspring, though the offspring often have difficulties in finding mates for themselves as they look, act, and sound like neither of their parent species. However, there have been documented cases of these hybrids beating the odds. So how do any of these strange pairings between different species happen when the species themselves are so different and courtship rituals vary widely? The mismatches can be overcome with patience and food. Courtship feeding is universal among jays. The male places food directly into the female's beak as a sign of a successful pairing. This gesture wouldn't be misunderstood by any jay, and, with enough repeated feedings, could allow the bond between them to form despite their differences. Steller's jays usually live for 10 to 15 years in the wild. The oldest Steller's jay known was at least 16 years and 1 month old when he died in Alaska in 1987, having been originally banded there in 1972. With such a long life, this jay may have raised dozens of chicks with his mate over his decade-and-a-half lifetime. This is the third video of a series of bird drawings I'm doing of the Pacific Northwest temperate rainforest area between Oregon and Alaska. In the future, I'll be doing more series of bird drawings from other areas of the US and the world. Thank you for watching. I very much appreciate your support, and if you enjoyed this video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, or sharing to help this channel grow. See you next time.